Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be giving you my spoiler-filled review for Captain America Civil War. So if you've already seen my spoiler-free review, you'll know that I absolutely loved this movie and I'm really excited to talk about a lot of things that I couldn't talk about in the spoiler-free review. So with that, I better give you guys a major spoiler warning. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it because honestly, you won't regret it. It is amazing. I'm assuming that since you're still here, you've seen the movie already, so I don't have to try and convince you to go watch it. This video is going to be more of me just going through a summary of the film while telling you guys what I liked about the movie, and also my thoughts on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So first off, this movie was fucking amazing. I loved every second of it from start to finish, including the mid and post-credit scenes. As I said in my spoiler-free review, I really loved how the characters have developed from previous films, particularly Tony Stark. There's one particular scene in this movie where Tony is confronted by a woman whose son died because of the events in Sokovia in Age of Ultron, and the look on Tony's face in that scene is pretty much says everything because he's finally realized that what he's done isn't exactly the right thing to do. And it's just really great how Marvel has developed Tony Stark as a character. Because, in Phase 1, he's really cocky and arrogant and thinks he's doing the right thing. And then when he goes through that portal in the Avengers, we see how that affects him in both Iron Man 3 and even a bit in Age of Ultron. And you can tell that outside of his ego, deep down, he's actually kind of scared of what's happening, with all like the aliens and other worlds and shit like that. Same goes with Winter Soldier. His development from being a killing machine to a criminal on the run was really great, and it was a really fucking emotional scene seeing Bucky and Steve in the same room together for the first time without Bucky being under control by Hydra. Then, of course, the main star of the movie, Captain America. It was really awesome to finally see the dark side of him that was hinted during Age of Ultron. As for all the other characters, they were all really great. It was great to see more of Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye. Vision was fucking hilarious, particularly at the start of the film. Black Widow and Falcon were great as usual. Ant-Man stole the show in one of the scenes, and then of course the two new characters I'll be talking about in more depth later, Black Panther and Spider-Man, who were absolutely amazing. The story itself was what made the movie stand out beyond the other Marvel movies. It didn't follow the basic Marvel formula of hero versus villain. It was more hero versus hero. Just seeing these characters who we know and love go against each other worked really great in creating some pretty emotional scenes. Now, there is a villain in this movie running behind the scenes, and that is of course Helmut Zemo, more commonly known in the comics as Baron Zemo. I really like Baron Zemo as a villain because at first I thought, oh yeah, he's pretty cool, I guess. And then by the end of the movie, I was like, holy shit, this guy is fucking awesome. He was really different to any other Marvel villains that we've seen before, and he was kind of just pulling the strings, and it was behind everything. It was just really awesome how Marvel did that, and I'm really excited to see Baron Zemo's character hopefully develop in future films if they do bring him back, because he was honestly amazing. Crossbones was also in this movie, and at the start he was fucking epic. I really wish they didn't kill him off. I was watching another review where someone said that Crossbones reminded them of Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, and I can't help but agree because he was really fucking epic. Some of the scenes that really stood out for me in this movie were the first time we see Peter Parker, the airport battle scene, and the final battle between Iron Man, Winter Soldier, and Captain America. So let's talk about Peter Parker. His introduction was so epic, my jaw was dropped through the whole scene. So, pretty much I'm watching the movie, it's a pretty chill scene, just Tony and Nat talking, and the next minute Queens pops up on the screen. And in my head, I'm just like, oh yeah, I know that place, it's in New York. And then suddenly realized, the moment I realized, holy fucking shit, that's where Peter Parker lives, they're about to show Peter Parker. And then Tom Holland appeared on screen, and the conversation between Peter and Tony, it was just so fucking epic, I couldn't believe it. I also really loved how Tony kind of broke the fourth wall by talking about how young Aunt May was. I just found that really, really funny. It was also cool seeing Peter's homemade suit, and I also really loved how even though we only saw 5 to 10 minutes of Peter Parker, we already got a really good understanding of who he was as a character. He's a dumpster diver, you can tell he's kind of poor. You can tell that he still feels responsible for the death of Uncle Ben by what he says to Tony, and it's honestly just perfect how they set him up. Tom Holland was really great as Peter Parker because he brought aspects of both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire into his character, and it worked out great, and I was so surprised at how amazing a performance he did. As for him as being Spider-Man, I'll talk more about that later when I talk about the airport battle scene, which I guess I'll talk about now. First off, the airport battle scene is easily one of the greatest, if not the greatest superhero battle scenes in any movie ever. It was fucking amazing. 17 minutes of Team Cap versus Team Iron Man, it was just too epic. Although there was humor incorporated, it didn't feel like just friends fighting each other. They were really going at each other, and even though it was nowhere near as intense as the final battle, there was still a really big emotional impact seeing these characters who were practically family fighting each other to near death. Especially when Vision went to fire at Falcon but missed and hit War Machine, it was just really well done and a really epic scene. Ant-Man, or should I say Giant Man, and Spider-Man of course stole the show. Giant Man was terrific. Walking into the movie, I kind of forgot about Giant Man, but then when Scott said during that battle scene, he says like, I'm about to do something but it only lasts for a short amount of time, and the last time I did it I passed out, I instantly got inside and knew what was about to happen. And then Spider-Man's reaction where he just looked up at Giant Man and just exclaimed, holy shit. Like, that scene was just so amazingly done and I really loved it. Spider-Man was swinging around and crawling up walls like a spider. I honestly just couldn't believe, I couldn't believe Spider-Man was sharing the screen with the Avengers. It was so fucking amazing. I still can't get over it. Now, although this scene was fucking amazing and the most fun battle in the movie, the final battle was really totally different. There was no humor, it was really serious, and I was on the edge of my seat throughout the whole scene. So pretty much Iron Man follows Cap and Bucky to Siberia, where there's the base of Winter Soldiers, and Iron Man joins them in wanting to take down Zemo. Then, this is where the most chilling, intense scene of the movie begins. Zemo shows the footage of a car crash deliberately caused by the Winter Soldier, and Tony says he knows the road that's shown in the video before anything even happens, and at this moment, like, you know shit's about to go down, because it shows Winter Soldier killing Stark's parents with his bare hands, and Tony is instantly pissed off. He goes after Bucky and doesn't hold back. This scene honestly brought me to the verge of tears. It was really fucking intense. I honestly thought someone was gonna die. It was fucking insane. Tony tears off Bucky's metal arm, Steve crushes Tony's arc reactor with his shield, and then the ending where everything just stops and Cap gets up and helps Bucky, and you hear Tony just in the background say, that shield doesn't belong to you, you don't deserve it. And Steve just drops it and walks away. It was just a really beautiful scene and I really loved it. As for the ending, I didn't like how when Tony reads Steve's letter, he seemed forgiving of Steve. I still think Tony and Cap won't necessarily be separated in future films, but also won't exactly be best friends either. But I kind of wish they were still against each other, especially after the scene in Siberia that happened right before. As for the post-credit scenes though, they were really, really cool. Bucky being frozen again was kind of sad, but the next scene where Peter Parker has the Spider-Man logo projected out his web shooter was awesome. I really wish that at first, like, it was the Avengers logo that was projected out, then turned into the Spider-Man logo, but I can't say anything bad about when the text showed up reading Spider-Man will return and the whole audience just started cheering. It was fucking great. Overall though, it was an awesome movie, really amazing. The story was interesting, the action was jaw-dropping, the soundtrack was epic. The scenes that needed to be funny were funny, and the scenes that needed to be dark were really dark. And I love the balance between the light-hearted and dark scenes in this movie. I don't know what else to say really. Civil War was just amazing and possibly the best MCU movie to date, and I'm really excited to see what comes next with not only Spider-Man Homecoming but also Infinity Wars. So what did you guys think of the movie? Comment below, I don't mind if you comment spoilers. So thank you guys for watching, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Till your left hand's free and your right hand grip with another left hand watches right and slip. Schwartz is gone.